Everything you want is just 1% away.
The world has convinced you that success comes in one massive leap. That to win, you need to hit it big, immediately. But that's a lie.
The truth? You're not failing because you lack talent or skill. You're failing because you're chasing the impossible, because you think if you don't achieve greatness right now, you're never going to make it.
But what if you stopped trying to conquer the mountain all at once? What if all you needed was just 1% more than yesterday?
1%? You think that's small? Insignificant. But here's the secret. 1% better every day isn't small. It's massive.
Projecting yourself forward to see what are the consequences of failing, what are the consequences of stopping, is about as powerful of a motivation strategy as I can think of, you know? Because what you're doing is you're trying to optimize right now to stop the discomfort.
That's right.
But what you're going to pay for that in is shame and guilt and regret long term.
That's right.
So what you need to be able to do is bundle all of that up that is as yet unfelt, but will last for way, way, way longer. You know, the future is much longer than now.
That's right.
The future is going to extend out up until the day that you die. And the now is just for now. And even 130 hours is just 130 hours.
That's right.
And you get to look back, and do you look back with pride and glory, or do you look back with shame and guilt?
You want instant results, but what you need is consistency. Every day, you take a small step. Every day, you choose discipline over comfort. Every day, you get 1% better.
You got to show up. Number one rule of success, show up. Burt Reynolds, Arnold Schwarzenegger, these guys showed up. You got to show up, folks.
The people who win, they aren't more talented than you. They aren't luckier than you. They've just mastered one thing. They show up again and again, even when it hurts, even when it's hard. They push through because they know the power of small wins.
What would your life look like if you just got 1% better? What if every single day you added a tiny improvement? 1% more effort, 1% more focus, 1% more discipline. Where would you be in a year? In 2 years? It doesn't take a genius to figure this out. It takes patience.
But here's the problem. You want results now. You want to be at the top of the mountain without climbing it. That's why most people quit. They look up at the peak and it seems too far, so they give up before they even take the first step. But not you. You won't quit because you understand something they don't.
You understand that 1% is power. You understand that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to that peak. You understand that greatness is not achieved in a single leap, but in 1,000 small steps, taken one at a time.
The greatest minds, the strongest warriors, the most successful people, they didn't wake up one day at the top. They started at zero, and every day they added just 1%.
That's it. That's the 1 second. You just summarized it right there. And most people fail those 1 seconds. And then that 1 second leads to 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and fuck. I have people who have been through training with me, Ranger School, SEAL training, Air Force training, and I get calls from them today, and they have great lives. And all they talk about is how they failed in that one moment. And they can't even enjoy their life now because they're now warm. They're now warm. There's no more suffering. There's no more suffering for me either. And we're in the same boat now. But you're suffering, so we're not suffering, but you're thinking about what you could have been. I am exactly what I should have been. And that's where people start to lose it. Because now, I realize that in that 1 second. I go through all that. I know how it's gonna feel, because I failed so many times before. Failure is the ultimate thing, man. I failed so many times before. That's why I don't look at failure anymore as failure. I look at it as my first, second, and third attempt. So that's what that's all about, man.
That's how legends are made. Not by one giant act, but by thousands of small ones. Compounding over time, creating momentum no one can stop.
So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for some huge breakthrough. You don't need it. All you need is to get 1% better today. And tomorrow, 1% more. And the day after that, another 1%. Soon that 1% becomes everything. It becomes your power, your edge, your unstoppable force.
The choice is yours. Stay stagnant or rise up, 1% at a time. The mountain is waiting. The climb is long, but all you need is that first step. Are you willing to take it?
This is Striving Motivation TV, your source of inspiration.